What's up, my little fuck nuggets? Today we're going to be talking about another good guy being cancelled by idiotic people on Twitter. I know, pretty much the same content as always, but just different people. Amazing stuff, really. This time around we have MrBeast. He's alone in the danger zone, being fired upon by one such Twitter idiot. And for those of you who don't know who MrBeast is, 1, you live under a rock, and 2, he's pretty much David Dobrik if David Dobrik spent his money on the people of the world and charities instead of, sports cars for his friends. Now before we continue, I'd like it if you subscribed. Probably would make me sound less dead inside. So go ahead, smash that like button. It's free, doesn't cost anything. I mean, the only thing it costs is like probably 5 seconds of your time, if that. So go ahead, smash that for me, baby. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. But as I was saying, MrBeast is indeed a great guy. Most of his videos that he does, the content he puts out are about doing good things or using his money for fun activities with his friends. I mean, in that regard, I guess he's kind of like David Dobrik, spending money on his friends. But aside from that, he's a good guy. He's mainly known for his little tree charity. He planted a bunch of trees. That was pretty cool. He's just an all-around awesome guy. He's loved on YouTube, and he has over 50 million subscribers, and rightly so. Now, despite all of these charitable acts that make him the greatest Samaritan of all time, people still have issues with him, mainly because they're jealous little pricks. But one guy in particular, he voiced his opinions quite loudly on Twitter. And the grievance that this guy thinks MrBeast is responsible for is the fact that he was kicked off a party app thing called Clubhouse. To offer a better description than the piece of shit one I just said, Clubhouse is like Skype, or, it's just a calling app. You go into a room, a digital room, and you talk to one another. That's pretty much what it is. In each room, there's a host who can invite people and decides who gets in, basically. Like many of you, I've never heard of this app before today, when I learned about the drama. That's because it's fairly new, and YouTubers like MrBeast are giving it a go. And obviously, the day of the tragedy, the calamity that occurred to this poor guy, when MrBeast oh so wronged him, it was through Clubhouse. So yeah, one of the days that MrBeast was using this Clubhouse app, there was at one point too many people in the room or the house or whatever you call it, I don't really know. So he had to remove people, so he just kicked out random people. He wasn't mad at anybody or anything like that. It was just random choice. Just he had to make room for new people, basically. And for the most part, the people who got kicked out understood. They weren't that mad. But one guy, the guy that is angry about this whole thing, did take offense to it. And he thought that MrBeast was being racist. Or at least that's what he's trying to cancel him for. I bet you he knows he's not racist, but we'll get into that. But yeah, let me first just show you the clip of the guy getting kicked out like he's a soccer ball or football. Honestly, I don't really care. I just say soccer because North American supremacy. Anyways, here it is. And I should mention, the guy's name is Farrock. You'll see it. There's an arrow pointing to it.
Really? Interesting.
So
All right.
I thought
Well,
it was
so Colin,
indicating that you had something to say.
yeah, I'm going to yote you, Colin. Thank you for coming up. Sorry, I'm really bad with names. I'm going to yote you as well. Cool.
I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't seem like there are any hard feelings to me. There's no hatred in that. He just got someone out randomly, and Farrock just happened to be one of them. Unlucky. In response to this travesty, this horrible holocaust of a situation, Farrock posted about it on Twitter. He complained, like all idiots do, and thought that Twitter would care. And the worst part is, some people really did. This got a good amount of likes, and honestly, it's really sad to see. If this gets over 1,000, I may consider self-harm, because frankly, I don't like living in a world where these kinds of morons are supported, where their stupid claims and outright slander is given the go-ahead, it's just bad. Anyhow, allow me to read you this Twitter thread like it's a bedtime story. MrBeast just threw me out of his stage on Clubhouse after bringing me up saying, quote, "I can't spell your name, so let me yote you out," end quote. Puking emoji. Unironically using emojis. This is when you know it's going to be a good one. Oh, and here we have some clarification. Yote is past tense for yeet, so pretty much means throw you out. Thank you for that very scientific definition, man. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank the Lord that we have such smart scholars in this world. He asked the audience to put photos of ourselves with Gary Vee, so I did. He invited me on his stage filled with white dudes only, skipped me twice, then came back to me and just cut me to say that. I didn't even place a word in. Hey man, I get it. You didn't get called on, so you're a little triggered. That's fine, man. Honestly, if you just messaged MrBeast about it, or even publicly asked him on Twitter, I'm sure he would have got you back on. He is a really nice guy. He'd probably feel bad. Not now, though, especially considering you have been slandering him, so, good job. This isn't a case of cancel culture. That's a fucking lie. This is exactly what this is. This is racism. Blatant racism. I'm disgusted and I feel shocked, TBH. He was on my stage for a whole hour the other night, too. SMH. Yeah, Farrakh, I agree. I'm shaking my head as well, but not in favor of you. Racism is not okay. Oh my gosh, thank you for opening my fucking eyes. I would have never known this. I don't care how rich or famous you are. I don't care how clean your brand is. Allowing this in front of 1,400 people is not right. I feel disgusted tonight. And guess what, Farrakh? I feel disgusted reading this. This is the biggest piece of slander I've ever seen since Wall Street Journal fucked PewDiePie all those years ago. And let's just get this out of the way. This is not about racism. MrBeast is not racist. I hate when idiots put the word racist on anything. They just slap it on like they're a used car salesman giving you a discount like, here you go, racism, this is racist, that's racist. No, it's not. You're just trying to make people look bad by using a word that you know will get people riled up. Farrakh knew that he would rile up all the triggered people, all the Karens, all the losers on Twitter that take things too seriously and make the world a worse place. And he did it because he was mad at MrBeast and he wants some clout. He wants his 50 minutes of fame. Well, guess what, buddy? Those 50 minutes were actually 10. No, actually 5. Your minutes of fame are over, buddy. Hope it was worth it. I also like how he says continually in the reply chain how MrBeast word for word said, I can't spell your name, so I'm gonna yote you out. And he says it as if it's a quote, as if it's a word for word quote. But if you listen to the audio clip, that's not even what he said.
I'm gonna yote you, Colin. Thank you for coming up. Sorry, I'm really bad with names. I'm gonna yote you as well. Cool.
Frankly, this whole thing is just so disappointing, right? And what's even more disappointing is, as always, people believe it, and they write in the reply section how they feel so bad for the victim. Oh, poor Farrakh, poor little guy who lied. Poor guy. This is one of my favorite tweets that are in support of this guy. This is so ridiculous. I'm so sorry this happened to you. As a fellow brown person, we have to fight this. Let's all retweet and make this viral. Well, good news, honey. It is viral. But the only viral part is your stupidity.
I see a fucking clown right there! Look at it! Look at the clown! Look! It's right there, dude!
Be careful what you wish for. Twitter users did come in though to lighten the mood. We have Santa Claus. He put this idiot on the naughty list. Good job, Santa. Give him the fattest stack of coal you've ever delivered in your life. He deserves it. Too mad. Just being himself is enough. I mean, look at that face. That's the face of a god. And not just any god. A meme god. In all seriousness though, even though we can have some fun with this, it is a pretty serious topic. I mean, if enough people actually believe this little schmuck, MrBeast could have got in some real trouble. I mean, obviously it was nothing. This was so obviously slander, but hey, who knows nowadays, right? I'm just glad this little internet gremlin didn't do any damage to MrBeast's reputation. It's crazy though, the amount of reaching he did, calling him racist and all that just by kicking him randomly. That's like if a midget was trying to grab the top of a redwood tree with just his arms. I mean, that's some insane reaching right there, man. Before I end this video off, don't harass these people. Even though they are dickheads, don't harass them. You can make fun of them like I did, but don't harass them. And I know some of you might be saying to yourself, well, if you don't want us to harass them, then why'd you show us their names? Trust me, it doesn't matter. I get why some YouTubers blur names and all that, but when something is as big as this, it doesn't really matter. People will find out anyways. And frankly, I don't really like these people, so I'm not going to blur their names. Of course, in the future, I will probably blur other people's names, but again, this is kind of a special incident. In any case, if you enjoyed the video I made today, the amazing content that I produced, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot to me. It makes me a happy boyo. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. This has been your boy JRAS, wishing the best for MrBeast in his endeavors against the cancelers. Signing off. Peace.